I love the story of Mortal Kombat 11. For all its popularity, best-selling Mortal Kombat ever, bigger than the 90s ones, the story gets a whole lot of hate from fans. And this video is me, Dominic, guy in a cold flat in the north of England. That's why I'm wearing a coat indoors. It is freezing here. It is freezing. I want to defend this because, yeah, is this story perfect? Nah, of course it's not. Is there stuff that could have been done a lot better? Yeah, definitely. Do I love it? Not only do I love it, I think that 9X and 11 as a trilogy are the best writing we have had in Mortal Kombat. I do. And in this spoiler-free video, yeah, I'm going to try and make it spoiler-free, just in case you're like, well, I've not played story mode, and here's some guy saying it's good when other people slag it off, because believe me, you do not have to search the internet far to find some hatred for the story mode. I'm going to try and defend it. I loved Mortal Kombat X and had played it so very much that on the day of release of Mortal Kombat 11, I went to the shops and bought it, and then lockdown happened not that long afterwards, and all through lockdown I was obsessed with this game. Still am now. And the story mode is a big part of this. I don't play a lot online. I'm not very skilled. I'm a really casual gamer. There are two things not to do with story that I really want to praise about this game, right? You know Crypt, right? You know Crypt. Never has the Crypt been so well realised as on here. I struggled with the pandemic and lockdown, and mentally I looked to cozy games, stuff that like A Short Hike, Abzu, Journey, low impact, calming experiences. I think Mortal Kombat 11's Crypt is a bit like a cozy game because there's loads to do, loads to explore, loads to unlock. And yeah, there's some little bits that are dangerous where you could get like sliced in half. But overall, I really found the Crypt very mellow. Before I really lay into the story mode's details, spoiler free, I want to just say about Fatal Blows, because I think that's a big reason this game gets a lot of hate, because Fatal Blows are really easy for a noob like me to pull off. So at the high end level, if you're good at games, maybe the inclusion of Fatal Blows itself is something that you just don't like. They're spectacular, they look awesome, and you don't have to use them, do you? I challenge myself sometimes that I don't use any Fatal Blows. An arcade mode, Kronika as a final boss. You get a T-Rex running at you. That's not a spoiler. Whether we think of her writing as a character and her motivation, I would say that she's up there with the best final bosses. It's a really exciting final match. So, story mode. You ever watch soap operas? Here in Britain, we've got like Coronation Street, EastEnders. You know, we had the Australian ones like Home and Away, Neighbours. I know there's a whole load of US soaps. In soap operas, you don't have like one main character like you do in a film or a TV series. It's so expansive and characters come and go. And I reckon this is a lot like a soap opera. You know, in Mortal Kombat 9, when it starts, you've got characters like Liu Kang, Raiden, Shang Tsung, and Shao Kahn, who are like your original mains. But then in X, they're not so in it really. And you've got other characters like the Combat Kids coming to the fore. Just like in soaps, people come and go. And in soaps, when they bring the old characters back, the fans go nuts. And in Mortal Kombat 11, all right, spoiler free, not every character has the best ending. If this is the end of the trilogy before the reset of Mortal 1 Kombat, then yeah, not every character's the best ending. But there's so many of them. How could they make every character have the best ending? I tell you who does have a great ending. Spoiler free. Kano. Sonya. How they developed Johnny Cage. How they developed Fujin. I know not everyone will agree with me, but Kotal Khan in the OG game and Aftermath. I'm a big Kotal Khan fan, and some people think he's done dirty. I love Jade and Kotal Khan, right? Minor spoiler, they're a couple, and they're a well-toxic couple. And that's great, that's interesting. They're not a couple I aspire to be like. I think their dynamics are interesting to watch. Horrible, but horrible is good to watch. I really like how Scorpion's story ends. I like Devora's part in it. I think it's consistently interesting and surprising and engaging. And then you get Liu Kang really coming back as a main character. It's like if in Neighbours, they brought back the actors Jason Donovan and Kylie Minogue for more than just a cameo, which is what really happened when they said they were going to end that particular soap opera. But they only got cameos. But Liu Kang, he's not really been here much, and now he's a main character again. And, all right, Kronika's plan is a bit baffling. She don't come across as the smartest character. Her motives are odd. Spoiler-free. What I will say is her enormous power makes her a threat, even if... It would be better writing if they'd been, portrayed her as thick, if you kind of thought that was a deliberate thing. I think, she isn't the best written character. She isn't the best, but she is a threat. She is a threat. I wish we'd have had more of Dark Raiden, but at least we do have Raiden. And Liu Kang and Raiden have brilliant endings. And oh my, when I got to the end of the OG Mortal Kombat 11, I was like, they've gone out on a high. This is it. There's nowhere the story can carry on. This end, my first time on story mode, I felt fulfilled. I thought, they've ended it. They've ended the story. That is brave. If only the Marvel Cinematic Universe had done that. After all the Infinity Stones, Thanos, if they'd been brave enough to just be like, that's the end of the story. We're not carrying it on. Anything after this will be a reboot or new characters or whatever. Brave, really, really good. The original trilogy of the 90s. You tell me in the comments if you understand what happens in Mortal Kombat 3. 1 is great, 2 is great, 3... Sindel commits suicide and that protects Earth from merger. It makes no sense. I think that the story goes off the rails in Mortal Kombat 3. You explain it to me. You explain what Sindel's even doing. How I don't understand it. And that's where all the constant, Johnny Cage is dead. No, he's not dead. This character's dead. No, they're not. I think the story really went off the rails. The original trilogy is held on a pedestal. I don't think it's all that. I love the PS2 era. What they do with Sindel in Deception is amazing. Deception, my favourite Mortal Kombat game. But then Armageddon. Although there's good bits of Armageddon, so much of what was established with a Naga and, Shujinku, Havoc, thrown out. Armageddon, the endings are awful. There's stuff that's good about Armageddon, but it's just so little connectivity when you compare what they've done with Deadly Alliance and Deception, really building on something, really make you think, this is a story. I'm sorry, but the PS2 trilogy is nowhere near as good as the current, I say current, I'm not including MK1, but this trilogy of 9, X, and 11. And Aftermath, you know what? I thought that 11 was the end. And that was just my absolute definite opinion. Wow, they've gone out on a high. And then we got the Aftermath expansion. And I thought, will this be good? And you know what? I love it. Many a word has been shared on the retcon of Sindel. Again, spoiler-free. I'm just going to say, you're going to know, aren't you? You're going to know that they do something different with the story of Sindel in this. And is it as good as Deception? No, nowhere near. But Sindel and Shao Kahn become like real big bads. And I can believe it. I can believe Sindel's actions. I can. I believe them more than Chronica's. I don't think Sindel's as good as she was in Deception. Deception is a better story, a more interesting story. But like I said, in soap operas, not every character gets the best ending. But we do have, minor spoiler to tell you that Shao Kahn and Sindel are like big bads to join Kronika, big bads in the Aftermath expansion. And Shang Tsung is amazing in Aftermath. Amazing, 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 amazing. They bring back the actor who played him in like the movie, and he's so well acted. And it's just glorious. Just glorious. It's a real one last hurrah. And I keep saying spoiler free, so I won't tell you how Aftermath ends. But the final shot sends shivers down my spine. I think the final scene is beautiful. The final scene is beautiful. The final scene of Aftermath is beautiful. I don't like Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal 1 Kombat, the current one. I don't like the current one. I'm not going to slag it off because if you like it, good for you. I think, like MCU, it's all multiverse shenanigans and it makes me care less about the characters. I really care about what happens to Kotal Khan and Sonya and Cassie and Johnny and Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Kitana. I really care, really, really care, especially those characters who've been so prevalent in MK9, not been around so much for MKX, which I do love. I love it. I love that they shake it up. But then, for me, yeah, this story is the best MK story we've had. It is. It is. I'm a writer. Could I have written better? No idea. I can't imagine being under the pressures that the writers must be under to meet deadlines and, you know, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But what I do know is I would be not being honest if I said that I hadn't been really excited, surprised and engaged and fulfilled by this brilliant experience, a game I still love to play because there's no cameos. So, I'm probably not going to make a Mortal 1 Kombat video because I'm not really keen on it. So this might be my last video on Mortal Kombat that I make. I don't know. The jury's still out on M1K for me. Maybe it'll win me over. What I can say is that I've loved making these videos, and for some of them to get like 400 views, I know that that's nothing compared to like big shot YouTubers, but for me, just like a random fella with no tech in a freezing cold flat, it's meant the world to me to see hundreds of people listen to me waffle on. So thank you. If you've watched any of my videos, thank you. If this is the first one you've watched, please do look through the older ones because I waffle on about every Mortal Kombat game up to this one and some other games too. More videos will follow on this channel, but for now, I'll just say big cheers for watching. I've really had fun making these, and do comment in the comment section. Like, I know I've come out with controversial opinions, and I'm up for discussing it. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that this is the best thing ever, but what I am saying is I love Mortal Kombat 11. I love the story of Mortal Kombat 11. I'm really glad it exists. Cheers for watching. Stay warm. Take care.